Today on Hey, We're Talking.
Master Debaters Wednesday.
I have a feeling there's going to be a hanging Chad in this episode.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hey, We're Talking. And just a heads up as we begin this episode, if you're offended by the title of the show, you might as well just go away now. Don't even listen. Don't put in the comments that you don't like it. Just, enough. All right.
Who would be offended by Hey, We're Talking? That's what we're doing, man. We're talking.
Yeah.
It's the Master Debaters. Some people don't like.
Oh.
Yeah. I can admit, if you'll peek behind the veil, we titled it that so it would sound a little risque. But in reality,
sorry,
we're not.
My dog.
We're not talking about anything risque.
No, it's not dirty. It's just
That's not dirty.
It's a funny play on words.
I did not know it was dirty until somebody said
You're
their
so
mom
full
said
of
it was
crap.
dirty.
You're full
We've
of
already
crap.
done this. We've already done this bit,
old.
Bob.
It's over.
We've already done it. Like, how dare people think that we? Yeah,
Derek,
But I guess
go ahead. Go ahead. Bob.
I found out there is a podcast called Master Debater, which I didn't know that. The whole podcast. So
Well,
we're just
Master
using
Debater.
them for
If you guys want to sponsor the show, feel free to give us a call.
or if you want to swap ads or promos,
Yeah.
we're cool with that. Let us know.
or if you want to sue us for intellectual property
We
violations.
can come up with a new name. That's no problem.
No, it has to be Master Debaters.
Oh, okay.
Master
So-
Debating Oars. See?
Yeah. Okay. Let's move off of this. This is just silly at this point. Derek,
be
how much
honest.
time are we going to need to debate this topic? Because you're the one coming up with it this time. What do you want to set aside?
Oh man, look, we could do our usual
Little
bit of
banter,
banter.
and then we'll
we
debate.
could do our usual bit of first half banter, talking about hey guys, it's Music Monday here on Hey We're Talking.
No, Wednesday
it's
now.
not. It's
It's
not.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. On
What do you do
Hey
on Wednesday? Workout Wednesday?
Whiskey
Whiskey Wednesday?
on Hey. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
maybe for Derek.
Yeah,
not-
Derek can
not
do
for us.
Whiskey Wednesday, but
Water Wednesday.
Coffee Wednesday
Look,
with a
it's
stormtrooper.
Coffee every day. I already
I
had
don't
my
wanna-
evening coffee.
I don't want anybody getting on to me, even though it's 10 o'clock in the morning here
It
on
is not.
Wednesday.
It's not 10 o'clock. All right.
No, it's
Be honest, it's 6 a.m. We all woke up and said, "Hey, it's time for a show. Got to get
it
it out there."
actually is Wednesday though. It is Wednesday evening where we are in like reality
In the
is.
past.
It is.
in the past.
It'll be a week from Wednesday when this show goes on.
We're still in the first month of the year. We're in enero, January.
Oh my
Oh, here we go.
gosh. This guy is on fire
so how did-
today.
how did
Let's
you-
talk about the days of the month and the month of the year.
There's 7 days in a week, and then they
What was-
repeat.
What was Wednesday? on your
Miraculous is Mercury, Odin's Day.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't get him started on it again.
I know. He is seriously passionate
very
about it,
excited
man. He's
about
got
it
it.
now.
He used flashcards for a while. His
Nice.
wife was like, "Here, what is this? What is this? More espresso. Let's go. Come on, Derek, get
But
this
I've
down."
talked about it to like other people. Basically, I did the show for people live. Like
Did
at
you
work.
do it before the show came out?
No, like after.
Okay, good.
I was like,
Why didn't you just tell him to watch our podcast or download
Because-
our podcast?
because I had the information on the tip of my tongue, and I was like, let's talk about what Monday
You
in
ruined it.
Spanish means.
And one of his patients is like, "I'm bleeding out. I don't care about Wednesday.
I'm dying.
Screw Odin. I'm bleeding."
Well, I do talk to some people. Like
He talks to some people
they're
sometimes.
people
That's
like,
good.
They're people who speak Spanish.
Oh, okay.
And so they're familiar with the Spanish origins and the Spanish words, and so I'm providing like this additional information. It was
Did they
fun.
like your
It
Domingo,
makes them
Domingo,
so
Domingo thing?
comfortable.
Oh yeah, they
That was
love
big.
that.
They were into that.
They love that. Thanks, Rebecca. I appreciate it.
Shout out
What-
to Rebecca. Might as
what-
well shout out Paige too. Hi, Paige. With
Hey,
the microphones covering you, but hey.
No, she's
you're
on
there.
the other side. You missed it.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah, I guess the
microphone's
microphone
her.
is covering
See?
her. I'm sorry.
I actually have a coworker also named Paige. Paige, how you doing, Paige? You don't watch the show, and you probably never will
So
because
is
you
this,
deal
this
with.
what we're gonna start doing from now on? Little shout outs to people that we know.
I mean, we don't have to. On a shout out Wednesday on Hey, We're Talking.
Shout out Wednesday. Oh my gosh.
Thanks for watching, Levi and Haley.
That would be
And
our
Shelley.
that'd be our Saturday
Oh
show.
my gosh.
Shout out Saturday, and
No.
all we do is just get on there and say people's names.
No.
Jeff from Walmart. I just want to say thank you for ringing up my groceries. See, that's what Saturday
there was
show should be.
there was a radio show in Detroit called Drew and Mike, and they used to do when they would say, "Hey Drew, say hello to my wife. Her name's Stacy." And you'd be like, "Yeah, radio for one. What everybody wants to hear." We're gonna do radio for one person. You know who actually might say that is Adam Carolla. Can't remember if it is him or Drew and Mike, one of the two. But there you go. See how I just killed that conversation
Yeah.
by injecting
In reality,
that in.
guys.
Every
in
time-
reality, we're not really. It's not a shout out Wednesday. It's Master Debaters, and
Derek, you
And-
are acting so fun right now.
Scott.
That's because he's
I
had some whiskey.
Apparently, he's a
I have
little-
had whiskey
it's a
on
little
this
strange.
Wednesday. But no,
Whiskey
Scott.
Wednesday.
I know Cheryl's gone. Is she out? She's abroad.
At the time we're recording this, she's not available now.
Well, you're sad. You miss your wife. Your wife.
She's going to appreciate that you said that, by the way. Your wife. She really likes that.
So
I
we're
wish you
going
could
to
see her
talk
face.
about
I'm going to take a picture when you say it on the show so you can see her face.
because it's like
It's like
You need to get one of.
ugh.
You need to get for Valentine's Day, which is coming up, Scott.
Yeah.
You need to get her one of those cards where you can record the message,
And just have
and
it
you
go,
just need to have Derek go, "My wife."
my wife. My wife.
That'd be perfect.
She
Don't.
hates it. She hates it.
That's hilarious.
She really hates it. It's funny to watch her face.
But- But she loves me.
She does,
And
but
so-
she just is like, Derek, please, with the my wife thing.
Does she really not like it?
I mean, seriously, dude, she really hates it.
Just
I
show her
don't know.
Borat.
She's
Show her
seen
Borat.
She knows it. Listen, I
Oh.
did the Borat thing many years ago. When was that movie put out? Bob, look it up for us so that we know how long. I think we're outside the realm of saying my wife now.
It's been a long time, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Yes, you are. I know you're going to. I would never think that you were going to stop saying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any
And-
guesses?
I think it came
Oh.
out in 2002.
9.
2006.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
For the record, I've never seen it.
What?
Yeah, and I will never. I mean, to be honest, I will never show that movie to my wife at all. I will never. Show
I
her
saw
that
it in the
because
theater, and it was worth every cent because you just weren't ready for it when it first came out. It was just pure, unadulterated, uncomfortable situation upon uncomfortable situation. Bob, do you understand what the movie's about?
No, I have no
It's
clue.
a guy. Okay, this guy Sacha Baron Cohen. He goes out and he's got this character called Borat, who is from Kazakhstan. Yeah, Kazakhstan, and he comes to America to learn about America, and he just goes to these things, and they filmed all of it with the intention. These people think that he's just doing like a basically almost like a documentary style video for people around the world to experience what America's like, and he does the most uncomfortable, most horrible situations he puts these people in. It's terrible, but it's
the
hilarious.
That's
he's
probably
very-
why I haven't watched it.
He's very anti-Semitic. He's very sexist. The character is
Terrible.
Sacha Baron Cohen himself.
No, he's a
is
British
not-
guy. Yeah, he's like a
not-
British comedian.
He's not sexist. He's not anti. He's Jewish, I believe.
Yeah, he is.
But his characters are very crazy.
They're just Borat
so,
is very.
I think he goes to America looking. He wants to like propose to Pamela.
He's trying to find
Anderson.
Yep.
Even though he's already married in Kazakhstan, and he refers to his significant other as my wife. Like I'm going to America and go to find her.
Go to USA. That's what he says.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But it's funny. The first time you see it, it's hilarious. But after that, you're just like, I can't believe people fell for this crap.
I only saw it once. I only need to see it once. Not showing it to my wife. We watch stuff like Orange is the New Black and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Wow. I don't know
where
that
I haven't
came
seen
from.
either of them.
Okay.
No clue.
Oh, Derek.
I have
you
started
in fine
a new show
form today.
I have started a new Netflix series called Ozark.
Very good show.
Yes. Great
So I'm
show.
about 5 or 6 episodes in. So
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about Ozark right now?
Oh, I like it so far.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where they're going to take it. That's the next thing. So
it's going to be fun.
It's
here on a Netflix Monday.
By the way, I think it's only 8 episodes, so you're almost done.
It's 10.
Is it 10?
I think it's 10.
Okay. I thought it was shorter for some reason.
Now, here's what I don't get about some of these Netflix things. Are they going to have another season of them?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Ozark
I don't know
is
if they're
supposed
just
to
a
come
one
back.
shot.
I think Ozark itself has been renewed.
It has.
Okay.
And I think the thing that's interesting about that show is if people know Jason Bateman for his comedy roles, it's very interesting to see him in a very serious role.
Yeah, a very bland role, I guess you could say. I mean, because the character is kind of a bland dude. He's a numbers guy. He's a money guy. So it's interesting. But he's got this
really,
dark side too.
Really good.
Speaking of dark, that's the next series I think we're going to start watching is Dark.
Isn't it all subtitled?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's German. Yeah.
No, I don't know if it is or not.
Yeah.
But
I think it is.
I've heard it's good.
Well, Derek says it's good, so there you go.
Not that means anything, but it's a Master Debaters Wednesday. And Scott, I'm tossing you a softball.
Are you ready to start now? We're going to start with 3 minutes before the break. You want to start it? Are we doing opening arguments, or what do you want to do?
Oh, the break? No,
go ahead. Start it. Start it.
You scheduled the break? All right, guys.
Schedule the break every time, Derek.
I didn't know that we were
that close.
Like, the break is gonna happen.
No, go ahead.
You could call the break.
You could
call the break right now. You could call the break right now, and we could come back.
That's true. We want to do that and come back and do the debate.
We're gonna start the debate.
Say after
Scott's
this.
Gonna love it. Scott's gonna love it because his wife is gone, and he needs some uplifting.
Say after this.
Say after the break.
Join us after these messages in this break time, and we're gonna get to the debate. Come back later after the break, which is gonna start
this.
Right now. After this break, these messages.
No, just after this.
I'm doing this on purpose.
I know, but just say.
We'll see you after this.
Fast, simple, and affordable. That's what registering your domain name with GoDaddy will be. Fast, simple, affordable. And if you listen to this show, Hey, We're Talking, you know you're getting a discount, 30% off if you go to trygodaddy.com/HWT. Again, 30% off. All you have to do is go to trygodaddy.com/HWT for 30% off your domain name and other business services provided by GoDaddy. And we are back, and we are about to jump into the debate portion of the show, better known as Master Debaters. Derek has a topic for us.
So dirty.
He's going to throw it out there, and then Bob and I are supposedly going to debate it. So let's see what happens.
I do have a topic, and I personally will reel it back in. I know I'm a little rambunctious today. We're having a lot of fun. It's okay. All right, Scott.
Let's hear it.
You love hockey, right?
Yes.
All right. You are going to argue for hockey.
Oh, that's easy.
All right. So the debate. Hockey. Is it the greatest thing ever? Right? So, Scott, I'm lobbing you a softball, man. You know, you're missing your wife.
And so Bob has to go against hockey?
You have to argue that hockey is like the best sport ever.
Okay.
Now, Bob, you can debate that it's not the best. You know, you can debate. You basically get to uphold football and baseball and basketball, and say, yeah, hockey's fine, but we have the Super Bowl and stuff like that. So,
Bob, do you want to start, or do you want me to go first?
No, go ahead. I will let you have the honors. I don't think you've started the beginning of a debate before.
Really?
So
okay.
Yeah. So
let's do it.
I think Scott's had some rough positions to defend, and I wanted to give him something that he could just really sink his teeth into.
Okay.
So,
all right,
go,
here we go.
Man, go.
Here we go. So let's talk about hockey. Hockey is a sport that I think just doesn't get its just due. It is one of the most entertaining sports in the world. In fact, if you have ever had the privilege of seeing a game live in person, you, I guarantee, will become a hockey fan. The NHL at one time used the slogan, "the greatest show on earth." And let me tell you what. It is the greatest show on earth. You say you like a sport like football where there's hard hits and lots of action, which is not true. Football has a lot of downtime. Hockey has all sorts of hits. And boy, the speed. Maybe you're a basketball fan and you go, I like how they rush up and down the court all the time and score lots of baskets. Guess what? They don't score as much in hockey, but the action is non-stop. It is awesome. And maybe you're into like boxing or MMA. On a special day in a hockey game, you will see a fight. Doesn't happen often, but you will see two helmeted gladiators on the ice wearing skates. Think about this. Wearing skates, punching each other in the face. And then they hug and tell each other good job after they punch each other in the face. It is one of the most amazing sports in the world. And I've been a fan my entire life, and I wouldn't trade it in for anything. That's my opening argument.
Thank you for the opportunity to debate this. Being a Chicago Blackhawks fan, it's not going to be easy to do, but I will talk. Let's talk first about ballerinas and ballet and figure skating. That's essentially all hockey is. You've got guys with sticks and more pads on them than the NFL or any other sport, and all they do is skate around chasing a little plastic black puck. And that's it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you want to talk about a real sport. I mean, look at baseball. Baseball is America's pastime. It's been for since the early, 1800 or late 1800s into the 1900s and so on. Baseball is a sport where people actually show up. They show up to games. They invest their money. They've got, obviously, there's tons of sports channels that carry baseball. There's a lot of baseball teams that give back to the community and things of that nature. And you're not going to find that with hockey. Hockey, these guys, they don't really make that much money compared to a lot of the other sports. But these guys, how much are you actually going to pay an ice skater? Somebody who just skates around with a puck and a stick and tries to get a little bit black puck into a net. I mean, really, how hard is that? We've all been roller skating before. We all know how to ice skate. So, okay, first off, that's an easy thing. And how hard is it really to take a stick and hit a puck into a 4-foot wide net? It's not a big deal. It's not a very entertaining sport. Yes, it's cool to go to any sport in person because you get that, you just kind of get into the vibe. But a lot of people get into the vibe with ice skating too. So to me, no, hockey's not the ultimate sport.
Did you say ice skating?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I will just throw this out there. Bob had mentioned, the baseball's illustrious history and its pastime, and it's been around forever. Just so you know, the first recorded mention of hockey was in a book called Juvenile Sports and Pastimes in 1773. And the first actual hockey mention, 1573, Statue of Galloway, he banned a sport called hockey where they hurled a little ball with sticks.
Yeah,
So-
because it was boring.
No, it was just
So
too violent for the
instead,
1573.
The cavemen were actually taking rocks with their big club and actually doing baseball long before hockey even ever
You have
existed.
no proof of that. But
Well, I mean, just
I
think
like
about
where
it.
you're going with that, but you have no proof of that. So let me say this: you've mentioned this, too many.
So
pads.
you don't think cavemen exist?
That's a whole nother debate. Okay, so here's the thing.
How could you just
You
put something
say
like
that
that down?
hockey players wear more pads than any sport.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How many
Yeah, I mean,
people are
they've got-
standing in front of a slap shot going 101 miles an hour?
Look at the baseball players. They don't wear any pads whatsoever.
Well, they're
Once
stupid,
in a while,
and they only
you'll
get
see a
hurt
guy
like
with-
once
with a-
every 10 years.
Oh, what are you talking about? There's
That is the
people that
most
have gotten-
passive sport
that
in the
have
world.
gotten. They don't have these big old helmets on when a
Yeah,
ball
they do when they're
line
standing in the
drives
batter's
right at-
box.
when a ball line drives right at the pitcher's head and he gets concussed
Yeah.
and later develops cancer and dies from it.
Oh my
that doesn't
gosh,
happen
what
in
the heck?
hockey.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you want to
it-
talk about cancer, there's been tons of hockey players with cancer.
Well-
so let's not
well-
compare
well, thi-
cancer victims, okay?
Well, think about this. How many Tommy John surgery was actually from baseball players? Because
Okay.
that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Because these guys are actually so tough and so BA that they
No,
they
they're not.
actually-
Baseball players are not BA.
One guy actually threw his arm
Yeah.
off, and
He didn't
yeah.
throw his arm off. He just hurt it. He had to get
Well-
surgery. His name was Tommy John, and he had to get surgery for it.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's part of
'Cause of
that's
his
part of the
elbow.
process.
It got
yeah,
messed up.
because baseball. Yeah, because he's throwing a ball at 100 miles an hour. How hard is it to hit a
Who
puck
throws at
100
100?
miles an hour? Look, there's
No,
been plenty of people over the
no.
years that
Usually
throw
in
at
the
100 miles
90s
an hour.
is a fastball.
All right, guys. All right. I appreciate I appreciate the enthusiasm. But let's get it focused just a
Yeah,
little
focus.
bit.
a
All
little
right.
bit. Go ahead.
All right, because this is my issue with hockey. I've been to one hockey game in my life. It was in Alaska. It was a minor league hockey game.
Okay.
The Great Falls, I don't even know the Great Falls Americans versus the Fairbanks, Alaska Ice Dogs.
Do you know
And it
that's
was-
what the names of the teams were?
Yes, that's what they were called, and it was an exciting game. It was an exciting game.
I bet the
However-
mayor that was a cat was there.
No.
Nice callback. It is the
Yeah.
Great Falls Americans. You're right.
Versus the Fairbanks Ice Dogs. It was a fun game. It was fun. But for whatever reason, hockey stinks on TV. I can't watch it.
What?
It's not fun. It's not fun.
I also have to talk about this. The NHL is 100% racist, and I'm just throwing that out
What
there.
are you talking about?
They only allow like 4 African Americans to play in
Are
hockey
you
at all.
mental?
It's a white man sport, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Do I really have to debate that stupid
You don't
logic?
have to. You don't have to.
That
but I'm
is
just
ridiculous.
saying that's part of the reason
Generally
hockey is
speaking,
horrible.
Generally speaking, there are a lot of players from Europe, Canada, and the United States.
Yeah, they're all white though.
Most of them are.
How many
but they're-
African Americans are in hockey? 4?
No, there's more than that.
No.
What does it matter? First of all, they're not African Americans. They're Canadian African. I don't know what you call it. They're black people. What is with all
Yeah.
these names?
Yeah,
There's
well,
black
that's
people
just,
in hockey. This is the stupid. I'm not even going to argue this
I'm
because
just
it's the
I'm just
dumbest
saying.
thing I've ever
I
heard.
just think it's stupid that they're racist. And look, baseball,
Dude.
basketball, hockey, or football, everybody gets higher ratings than hockey does. That revenue is generated way more in all the
Just
other
because
sports
a
than it is
sport
in
gets
hockey.
high ratings
Hockey-
doesn't mean it's the best.
Hockey is like the stepchild to all the other sports.
No,
Nobody
it's just-
really cares about it. They just follow it
People
just to have
haven't
something
discovered how amazing
something
it
in the
is.
off season. That's all.
Oh,
What
Derek,
is
I
your
don't know
favorite-
Where do you
what
go
is
with
your
this?
Well, I mean, he brings up, I guess, kind of a good point.
Racism is a good point.
Not racist.
Oh, okay.
Is there a racial disparity in hockey?
Yes.
Or is it because they don't allow
It's not a
black people in hockey, or
No!
is it because black people just don't care?
There's I would say that most of the time it's because this is so stupid. I can't believe I'm actually talking about this. No, there's not a racial disparity. First of all, I don't know how many people of African descent there are in Canada, but most of the people so far that have played in the NHL, a lot of them are from Canada. But the first hockey player, like in the 1950s, that played for the Bruins, Willie O'Ree, was a black guy. This is not a sport that has tried to exclude people of color ever. It's just a sport that has not caught on. It has not caught on in places where there are a lot of African Americans or Africans or people of color. That's all.
Just as you said with the caveman thing, I don't believe it.
This is so. I can't believe I even argued it. It makes me so irritated.
Well,
you're joking.
I'm just putting the obvious out there. You know, if you can't look at the sport and be honest with yourself, that's not my problem.
Please help
me. Let's move on. All right, let's just hit the. I do want y'all to both address, and this can be y'all's final argument, about the excitability or the enjoyment of hockey on TV. I don't like it I can't watch it. It doesn't appeal to me. So discuss that. Go ahead.
He's just going to say that it's bad on TV. That's his whole argument.
The people that like ice skating and ballerina dancing will love hockey on TV. I mean, because that's all it is. You don't see the puck anywhere.
By the way,
all you see is people moving around.
Everybody that's from Chicago, just remember that Bob is saying this about a sport that people in Chicago love. He's picking on the Blackhawks.
Well, now you're trying to take the love out of the Master Debater segment.
Well, because the stuff you're saying is so ludicrous.
I think you're to the point where you've lost your argument. So now
but hockey's amazing.
Now you have to personally attack me, and I think that's quite inappropriate.
You called hockey racist. Where do I go from there?
You tell me how it's not, but you can't.
Do you know that most people, when they're losing an argument, that's the first thing they say is that it's racist?
I'm looking at the ratings. I'm looking at their stance. I'm looking at revenue generated.
Their stance on what?
On the racist issue. I just wanted to leave that at that.
Derek,
I'm looking at.
He needs to lose at least 10 points for this ridiculous argument.
I'm looking at. I mean, there's tons of things to look at. Hockey on TV is absolutely boring.
Hey, by the way,
you cannot follow this little tiny puck.
Anybody
the cameras
that's
are
listening,
horrible. The angles are horrible. So that's the end. That's my closing argument.
I get that. Well, why don't you address that, Scott?
Let me just say this. Anybody who's listening to Bob right now, I just want you to know he's playing a part. He's not really this annoying. When we do these Master Debater things, he is the most. I've never met someone so annoying as him when we do these. Hockey on television,
minus 80 points.
Hockey on television is harder to follow. I'm not going to even try and pretend that it's not. It's more difficult. When you're there, it's a lot easier. Once you get into to understanding how the game works and stuff like that, it's not hard to watch on TV at all.
And then every 5 seconds, offsides, icing. It's like, wait, why'd the game just stop? How does this even make sense? Wait, what happened to the puck?
He's not even giving me a chance to talk about it. It
all right,
makes
I'll
me
step
so
away.
sad.
I'll step away.
All right.
Listen, I think Bob wins just because he's more annoying than me.
No. All right. I'm gonna stop you guys there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. Look, I appreciate the arguments that you both brought.
You appreciate
and I know that
he
Bob
called it racist?
I know that Bob is a fan of hockey.
Yeah.
He's the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And Scott, I know you've been a fan your whole life.
Yeah.
And I lobbed you this softball.
And I didn't knock it out of the park.
You crushed it, my friend.
I did not.
Scott, I'm gonna have to say you really did truly win the debate.
No,
you came at it. You revealed your passion, and you revealed it was the opening argument that did it. It was the opening argument. And
I wish you guys could see Bob's
I'm afraid,
face.
Bob, you lost it when you threw the racism thing.
It's just obvious.
It's not.
Was just an obvious thing.
Scott countered that with a really great fact that whenever American hockey started, like in the 1950s, that one of the very first players was indeed an African Canadian or an African American.
Well, at least he proved that. I'll leave it at that.
He had the facts. All right. Scott, what you said, what you impressed on me is that hockey is impressive in person.
Yes.
And that once you become a fan watching it in person, it becomes more bearable to watch on television.
I like that you said bearable. Yes.
Yeah. Now, Bob, you also lost when you took up baseball. All right, baseball. Yeah.
But it is America's pastime.
It is the
Come
most
on.
boring sport in the universe.
You should have compared. You might have taken up football. If you would have taken up football and used that for the comparison, I might have considered it. But I got to be honest, Scott ran away with this.
Well, Scott's going to try something for the first time, and I found this on somebody else's. He's going to put a poll at the top of the screen. There'll be a little eye up there.
Why do you keep saying these things that I'm going to do?
care
I don't know how to do this.
No. I get Scott wins, but let's confirm it with our listeners and get their interaction. There's a little eye at the top of the screen. Go ahead and click that and vote for either Bob or Scott.
I would love to know what.
Contact Danny Black. He knows how to do it.
There may or may not be a poll, but we'll see.
I mean, I would love to know what the listeners and the viewers thought. I mean, if as far as, at the end of it, hearing what Scott had to say, what Bob had to say, who won the debate. I kept myself open because I'm not really a huge hockey fan. I've seen one game live. I thought it was good, and I tried to watch it on TV, but I can't get into it. I'm sorry. But, Scott, you debated. You brought your passion. You brought the facts. You won the debate.
Congratulations, Scott.
I appreciate it.
Bob, great effort.
Just don't say racism when you're losing.
No, I wasn't losing at that point. I still think it's a great topic. Why aren't there more?
Oh my gosh, we have to end this show before my head explodes.
A lot of fun, guys.
But I do love. For the record, I do love hockey. I'm a huge Hawks fan. I love watching it on TV. Playoff hockey is absolutely the best.
It's the best in any sport. Playoffs.
Playoff hockey is the best out of everything.
Yeah.
To me, it's better than the Super Bowl because you've got games that are just. I mean, they're always down to the wire.
Intense.
Yeah,
I have another sports debate idea for you guys that I think you're gonna enjoy.
Okay.
But I did want to lob the little softball to Scott so that he could crush it, and you did.
So basically, he knew you won before it even started.
We should know
because you're lonely and your wife's out of town.
I was very objective, Bob.
Oh, I was going to say, what we should do is have Kevin Twyford on one time to talk about Europe. What is it?
Soccer?
Yeah.
MLS soccer?
English Premier League soccer.
Yeah.
Well, excuse me, football.
Foosball.
Yeah.
Foosball.
That would have been a good one, Premier League soccer versus Scott's hockey.
Oh, man, hockey hands down. Except for the songs. The songs are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are good.
Thank you,
stuff.
everybody, for tuning in to this Master Debaters edition of Hayward Talk.
Yes.
Wherever you're listening or watching us from, there's more places you can check us out at. If you're watching on YouTube, check us out on Facebook or check us out on iTunes. Check us out on Cow Country Radio or RadioBloodstream.com. We are there. We're around.
Yeah.
Leave your comments. Leave your emails at haywardtalking@gmail.com. Go ahead, Bob.
Do us a favor. Email Spotify and tell them, if you're a Spotify listener, and tell them you want Hayward Talking on their app. And then you can listen to us on Spotify. But you guys, we need you listeners to do it. Email them and say, hey, we want this podcast on the show.
On that note, hockey rules.